So welcome guys. Today we're going to talk about how can you scale any business in 5 simple ways. Number 1 is selling up market. So what does this mean? For more specificity, let's take an example that you're an agency owner who sells performance marketing for e-commerce, right? So selling up market could probably mean that you basically offer more services to these same people. That might include that you also give them video editing. It might mean that you give them SEO. It might mean that you give them conversion rate optimization. So basically selling upmarket means that you're adding and stacking or more kind of services that you give to people. This is beneficial, especially if you want to increase your overall revenue. So for the first few clients, for example, in performance marketing, if you're making a 50% or 70% margin, initially while getting started with video editing or with SEO, you might not have a lot of margin because it might include you having to hire more people. But in the long run, in the very, very long run, you will actually make more money, right? So that was way number 1. Let's talk about number 2, selling down market. So selling down market means that, for example, again, if you're doing performance marketing for e-commerce, this might mean that you go below that market. What that means is you probably do performance marketing for dropshippers, people who don't really have a brand. It might also mean that you give mentorship or you teach performance marketing to people who are getting started, right? So think of it as levels. So there's level 0, where you're just doing performance marketing for anybody who comes. Above that is you're doing for e-commerce, and then below that is for people who are getting started, right? So that is how you can sell down market and increase your revenue, right? By through mentorships, through working with people who are just getting started and things like that. Number 3 is going to be going adjacent markets. Adjacent market means, like, if this is performance marketing for e-commerce, going adjacent might mean that doing performance marketing for coaches and consultants, doing performance marketing for software companies. That is essentially what it means, that you go to adjacent markets who are very similar to the services you give, but not really. And it is like it opens up a huge new plethora of leads for you, right? So that is called going adjacent markets. The 4th way is going to be going broad, right? Now, what does going broad means? It is a little similar to going up market, but not really. So this might mean that if you're doing ghostwriting for coaches and consultants, it might also mean that you go from ghostwriting to SEO services, or copywriting services for ads for coaches, consultants, for software companies, etc., etc. So it's not so much at giving more services, it is just going broader in the same space that you're doing, right? So that is called going broader, and that again opens up multiple avenues for you. And on the 5th number, which is our last way of scaling any business, but definitely not the least, is going narrower. Now understand that this is a very crucial thing to understand. For example, you tell me what sounds better. I run performance marketing for e-com brands, or I do performance marketing for skincare brands doing anywhere between 5 to 15 lakhs per month. In what do you see yourself more as an expert? So the benefits of going narrower are immense. You becoming a specialist in a given field would make a lot of difference because people trust you more. So if you go to a particular market, you chase after a particular market, and you show them that you're very specifically like a specialist in getting this kind of niche within this revenue level, taking them to the next 300-400% growth, right? People are going to trust you a lot, right? So going narrower can also be a great strategy. And now my favorite strategy is to actually combine all of these together. So you probably go narrower, at the same time you sell up market. So you become a specialist at something like with skincare brands doing 5 to 15 lakhs per month in terms of revenue. At the same time, then you help stack up more services for these particular clients, right? So I know it was a very simple, short, straightforward video, but I think it will give you food for thought to think more deeply. I'm always available for a conversation. In my Instagram DMs, we also have a free Discord community, which I'm going to list below. And if you're an agency owner, freelancer, or into the service space in general, we have built SyncUp for you. You can go and sign up for a 14-day free trial, no card, or no debit card, credit card required, and you get unlimited tasks, chats, meetings, notes, etc., right? So it's going to be fantastic, and I hope to see you in the next video.